Hey guys, what's going on? It's been a while and finally got something I want to do. It's gonna start my own show. Yeah, here we are. First episode. Um there's a lot I want to talk about. I feel like when I first started, nobody really got to see how I started everything. Yeah, we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into a lot of stuff. But first off, say about 3 years ago, I won Ball Facts trip. It's on my YouTube channel. But anyway, if you guys know Ball Facts, he covered a lot of LaMelo Ball. He was cool with the Ball family and so on and so on. I was actually his number one fan at the time. Probably still am, but yeah. We hit it off. It's real cool, solid dude. And so he had an idea of getting all these fans together. And we're going to be flown out to Chicago to see Lonzo versus Melo. Very first showdown. Very first showdown. We were all there. Yeah. I do have a video of that. But yeah, that's how my journey got started. So I'm like, man, I was just really super excited, and I never been on a plane before, so I had to record that. And just in case, not necessarily as if the plane went down, I will be recording my death, but it was my first time on a plane. So, I mean, why would you not want to record that experience? So that's why that's recorded and it's in the video. But yeah, I had a good time overall. I never experienced what jet lag was. I always heard about it, seen it on the movies and what it's supposed to do to you. But yeah, when I first touched down in Chicago, I was probably asleep. I'd say about 60% of the trip. Yeah, definitely. I had major jet lag, and I had before that I worked like 3 days straight just to get my vacation in order so I can actually catch the flight. And when I actually caught the flight, that within the first few hours, I was at work. So I'm at work working, no sleep. As soon as I got off work, packed my bags, got all the flight stuff situated. It was pretty crazy. But it's all in my video. It's an old video 3 years ago. If you guys want to go back and watch it, that's cool. But I'll throw up a couple of clips for y'all. So see how that went. It was pretty cool. I was like, hey man, I really like your work, Ball Facts, and I would like to do something for your videos. I would like to edit your videos, kind of see where that goes. And it's like, okay, cool, let's do that. So yeah, believe it or not, like I said, 3 years ago, I did edit a few of his videos. And if you guys want me to show you the proof on that, I can show you the proof on that. But anyway, I did edit a few of Ball Facts videos. And they did really good. And that was the first time that I started editing. So yeah, it's first time. And I did really good. The views were good. Y'all can check it out. But so I'm like, okay. During the trip, I got to meet AB, the Ball family, and like Chicago's really cool. A lot of people have their doubts and say what they say, but I mean, I've been there quite a few times, and I didn't feel like I was gonna be shot at. Somebody was gonna beat me up because I was cheering for more of LaMelo. than Lonzo. But I mean, the people were nice, genuine. I felt like I was at home. Everybody did. But like, it was pretty crazy because a lot of the people there, like the random people, they was coming up to Ball Facts like all the way across the center, all the way across the stadium. They was all the way on the other side. I seen these people walking all the way around to take pictures with this man. So yeah, he was pretty big. He was one of the biggest ones covering the Ball family at the time when the era first started. Shout out to AB the Hero. But yeah, I got to hang out with those guys. Gave me a few tips here and there, and I pretty much went from there. And that's how I got started with YouTube. Sorry, I just shaved my face a little itchy there. Anyway, yeah. So going forward, my next video, it's called LaMelo Ball's Journey Through His Eyes. So that was my very first video that I dropped. And I started to get into sports and covering a lot of sports. And that's how I got started with dropping the NBA videos. I play basketball, still play basketball, and that's just how I got started with majority of basketball, and then I added football because football is one of my favorites also. So, but yeah, and then so I wanted to, with my whole thing, I wanted to show like my talents of what I can do. And a lot of people were like, well, you're going to confuse the audience, you're going to confuse the algorithm, they're not going to know what to look for, and so just stick with one thing, you know. I don't know, don't do that. But I'm like, nah, I'm going to do that, because that's what I do, that's the kind of person I am. So, but yeah, I cover basketball. I love highlights. I cover all highlights. Soccer, basketball, football, baseball. Like, I'm covering all that. So I just want to give the world and other fans a chance to see my vision and what I'm trying to do through my eyes. I'm not like everybody else, so totally different, as you can see in all my videos. And like with the NBA videos, when I first started, the videos were a little rocky. I mean, the quality was not all that great, but I didn't expect to have great quality anyway, first starting out. And over time I got better, but as you get better, it takes a lot longer to edit those videos. And so I went from dropping like 4 or 5 games a day, you know, like constantly doing it for like weeks and weeks without missing. And I put in a lot of time. You miss a lot of sleep, I mean, and working too. So, you know, it's not easy, but I mean, I love it. So it didn't really affect nothing. It didn't really affect anything other than sleep. But I mean, I still was able to function at work and whatever else. But yeah, like a lot of my videos, if you go back and look at my videos versus what the NBA was showing, like my videos are like way better. Of course, they gonna have better quality, but the highlights, my highlights, I don't think anybody had better highlights than me. But just go back and see for yourself. So, I mean, the videos, they're still up there. But yeah, my highlights were pretty awesome. And a lot of the content, of course, is you could show it, but some of it gets copyright. Probably all of it if they really wanted to go that route. So, But I just want to let you guys know going forward that I'm not going to be showing any more NBA videos. But I mean, no games. Well, I'm gonna do a little something. Like I said, I got a show going, so we just gonna talk about all that stuff. I'm not just gonna get rid of basketball, soccer, baseball. Like that's all me. So it's gonna be a show now. So that's how we gonna approach that. Because I can't just keep copywriting, taking this content from the NBA like that. You know, 'cause you can get in trouble. A lot of people have. But I mean, and they did, and they do allow you to show those videos. So even though it's copywritten, if you make whatever money you make off of that, of course it goes to them. So if that's how you want to do your channel, that's how you want your first check to be, going to somebody else, I don't think I want to do that. So, but the reason why I have so much different content is because this is stuff I love, stuff the fans love, and a lot of people I talk to wanted to see these things. So that's why I have multiple sports. I don't just want to do one thing. I'm not gonna do one thing, you know, and I'm not gonna be a copy and paste type person and this is how my YouTube journey got started, and I'm not gonna do none of those lies and nothing like that. So this is the first video of the show, and this is pretty much how I got started. And now you know why I have multiple sports videos on my channel. I have Dragon Ball Z also. Big Dragon Ball Z fan. Vegeta's my favorite. But like with the with Sparking Zero, like Toriyama, I mean, he died, so I felt like I wanted to, in my own way, express me as a fan. Just wanted to show the world and other people if they don't really know too much about Dragon Ball. So I just did like the cinematic story. I game, but not like that. I mean, it's Dragon Ball, so I'm not a button masher. So you get the actual fans versus the gamers, and it's two different things. It really is. So if you go and look at their content with the gaming and what the gamers talk about versus what the fans are actually talking about from beginning to end with Dragon Ball, they're just doing Dragon Ball Z, Sparking Zero, whatever, however you want to say it. But I mean, nothing against any of these people, but I mean, what was out first? Were we streaming video games? Was people talking about the Dragon Ball Z video games? If you go back, I mean, a lot of us wasn't even, like, probably was in diapers, you know. So but when this stuff came out, when Dragon Ball first came out, long time ago, probably before any of us was around or even teenagers. So, but there was no video. There were video games, but it was the show. The show was out. It was always about the show. So I'm not gonna make my video about gaming, about button mashing, when that's not what Toriyama's legacy was. That's not what his legacy was about. So I mean, just do your research. There was no video game. We're watching the show. People are still watching the show. There's gamers, but I mean, a lot of people grew up on Dragon Ball, even now, with a lot of people not knowing about it. So there's gaming, but I mean, in reality, let's be for real, let's be serious. So this is his legacy. He died, and excuse me, So that's what I wanted to show you guys, a version of what he made, and also bringing in the gaming, putting it all in one, so the fans and the gamers could, have something to look at, talk about. Maybe they like it, maybe they don't. But I just felt like, me as a fan, that's something that I wanted to do, so his legacy can live on, and these videos are gonna be up forever. So, but no, I did play the game, of course, but I love the story. I love the show, so that's what I wanted to show you guys. I'm not really a PvP gamer with Dragon Ball Z, Sparking Zero. I mean, I'm cold on the sticks, but that's not what my intent was. And so his legacy wasn't the video games. That's not where it started. So that's where the gaming came in. So will I have gaming later on? I doubt it, but we'll see. Like I said, going forward, this is going to be a show, and I never get to talk to you guys. You guys never knew how my journey got started. So that's what we're doing now for the first episode. And I'm just scrolling through my videos. So with the soccer, I played a lot of soccer when I was a kid, and that's how the soccer came in. And like, if you look at there's a video, it's called Virginia Beach's First Soccer Twins. So I was just going through soccer, high school soccer. I'm like, okay, I don't want to start with somebody big who isn't really gonna be watching the videos. They're not gonna care about what I'm doing. So I wanted to find somebody or some bodies that I could call my own, and that's how the soccer videos started. So it started with these twins. There's a set of twins in Virginia Beach. They went to First Colonial High School, and they were freshmen at the time when I discovered them. I'm not saying that, I put them on the map, nobody knows about these. Maybe, I don't know if a lot of people don't know about these girls, but like I said, it's a pair of soccer twins. I'm like, okay, I'm going somewhere with this. This is gonna be cool. So that's how my soccer journey got started. But like, a lot of things that people don't know about me is I'm just not grabbing the content and copy paste. I reached out to their family, and we follow each other on Instagram, and I kept in contact with them. I'm still in contact with them. So it's not like I just found these twins and I'm like, okay, I'm about to run it up, get my views up. And so, like I said, I have a love for all these sports that are on my channel and stuff that I talk about. So like, a lot of people they wouldn't know that. You wouldn't know that. So that's why I'm telling you now. That's why I'm doing this video. That's why I'm doing the show, so you can see how all this started. And so it's not copy and paste. And when I do something, like, I know these people. Like, all these videos, I know these people. We follow each other on Instagram, but like, I don't need to talk about that stuff. Anyway, if you look at my Instagram, you'll see. But I covered their career, all 4 years of high school. They had their ups and downs. A lot of stuff I didn't get to see because like, their games were televised, but for some reason, in some places of the world, you just can't get coverage. So I missed a lot. I missed a lot of their good games, but in the summers, I definitely got a hold of that. So that's how soccer came into play. Like I said, the videos of the very first soccer twins of First Colonial High School, like I've got some videos on them. And like I said, before I made the video, before I did anything, I reached out to these girls. I reached out to their mother. I reached out to all their family, and I let them know what I'm going to be doing, who I was, and if they needed to look up any of my information, or they felt like anything that I'm going to do might hurt their career later on down the road, then just let me know. So no, you probably don't need permission to cover people, but I feel like it's disrespectful. And like I said, I'm different. I'm not like all these other people. I just don't grab something and copy paste, make up lies. Oh yeah, I know these. I used to hang out with these people. But like majority of my content, especially the original genuine stuff, like I know these girls. I know Ball Facts. I hung out with Ball Facts. I talked to Ball Facts. And there's a lot of stuff that we'll get into another time. But right now, what's most important is for you guys to understand why the NBA games won't be on here anymore, and a lot of how I got started and why I have multiple videos of different things on here, different content. So they say, oh, you gotta find your niche, you gotta go with this, you gotta go with that. Like, no, I'm not gonna do what everybody else thinks you should be doing, or this is how you should go, and that's not who I am. So my work, I want to show you guys through my work of who I am, what I love, and how I do things. So no, I don't copy and paste and go by the rules. I don't play by the rules. I never have. I always think outside the box. Outside the book. That's a new one. But yeah. So that's how all this stuff got started. But like I said, I didn't just randomly pick these girls. I talked to them for years and years. I let their parents know what I'm doing. So like all this stuff, it's not made up. So I have a voice, and that's what I use. My voice and my words, they reach a lot of people around the world for the better, and that's how I got into YouTube. That's how I got into the situation that I'm in, as into making videos, editing for people, and but we'll get into all that later on. But right now, what's most important is, like I said, knowing how I got started and why things are the way they are now versus when I first started doing YouTube. So I took a long break. I thought about what I was gonna do. I didn't want it to be a podcast. Shout out to my boy FYB J Main. I got some connections out there, but like I said, we'll talk about that another time. So there's a lot of when I reached out to J Main, the Whoop Man, it almost felt like that he was basing his show topics off of what I was asking him to talk about. And you don't get a lot of people that listen to you or give a damn what you have to say, and he was one of those people. But like, if you guys want me to show you the text messages on Instagram of me talking to J Main, Ball Facts, and Ball Family, and everybody else. I could show y'all that, but like I said, that's not important. But if you want to see it, let me know in the comments. I'll show you. But so like, I don't know what it is. I'm just a genuine person, and I feel like the best way to go about something is to, just go after it. Let's see if I can get these people to respond. Like I said, it makes the story, it makes the content better. It gives you something to talk about. I don't need no cue cards. I don't need no prompters. I don't need none of that stuff, because it's all in my head. It's all genuine. Like I said, so when you do something like that, you're gonna remember. You're gonna know from beginning to end of how things went. You're not gonna forget any of that stuff. But if I gotta read that off some paper, read that off the cards, looking at my phone, I don't have to do any of that stuff. So that's what it's about for me. So everything I've done, it's always been genuine, always been 100%. I reached out to the NBA. Of course, they're not gonna be like, yeah, man, go ahead, do these videos. You're good. We're gonna get you a spot on ESPN. But like I said, if you look at my NBA videos, if you look at my games and you look at their games, look at their highlights, tell me who has better highlights. My highlights are way better. But like with other YouTubers, when you see them drop their videos, drop their content, it's the same damn thing the NBA drop. Like 90% of it is the same thing, copy and paste. I have no copy and paste anything. So I watch the games from beginning to end. I'm recording the games. I go back and I break down the whole entire game. So no, I don't have anybody to pay to do that, and I don't want to. I shouldn't have to. So this is my content. This is my show, and I'm gonna show that. So I don't need people to do anything for me. I'm 100 all the way around, and y'all gonna learn that. So that's how. Like I said, if you go back and look at their videos, like I even put in the comments. So I had to go back and read, but when the NBA were dropping, my videos were getting so much attention. Like even though like it wasn't blowing up, but being new, YouTube was sending people my way. And like who is this guy? Like I'm coming from out of nowhere. So, and a lot of YouTubers showed me love also. But I'm not saying I'm the best. I started this first, but like I said, everything's genuine. Everything I've done from the beginning is genuine. So, but like if you go back, look, believe it or not, so true story. The NBA, at first, when I was dropping my videos, if you go back, they weren't really paying attention. So nothing was being copywritten at the time. And people say, oh, they're going to go back and get you and it takes a while. No, it doesn't take a while. So they didn't feel like I was a threat, or maybe they wanted to see exactly where I was going with this. Is he going to stick with it, or like, what's your purpose with this? But like in the beginning, when I was doing the videos, there was nothing being copywritten. But as I kept pumping them out, like game after like 3, 4, 5 games in one day, the NBA was like, hold on, like who is this guy? So when they were doing their videos, they weren't really dropping them right after the game was over. So they started to see that as soon as the game was over, it took me like 30 minutes to an hour to put that same game out. And that's when they started hitting me with the copyright content. They're like, hold on, this dude is getting the games out before the NBA. Like, how is this new guy doing that? So yeah, I was getting the games out faster than the NBA. And you can go back and look at when or what time theirs dropped versus when mine dropped. And that's how I knew that I was on to something with this basketball, because like I said, when I was dropping my videos, they were still showing the other games on whatever station it was on, so as they were showing the other games, I'm dropping the game that just aired. So like that was pretty cool. So that's how you know you're doing something, whether you think it's you're copying, or like if it wasn't on the positive side, I'm pretty sure that things would have turned out different. But like I said, I was dropping the videos like right after the games were over, and that's what a lot of people like. Even though the content wasn't all that great, I didn't expect it to be great. First starting out and not knowing what I'm doing, like I've taught myself all this stuff from the beginning. So yeah, so that was pretty cool. So that's how I knew I was on to something, and that people were actually paying attention to what I was doing, other than just dropping the videos. Because the NBA, like I said, they weren't dropping their games until hours later. As soon as the game is over with, come to my channel, like the highlights are right there. So after that, when I started seeing the copyright strikes. I'm like, oh shit. So I reached out to my boys, I'm like, hey, check this out, man. I think they're really digging this content. I'm on to something. People are watching this stuff. But yeah, so that's how they got started. True story. So I was dropping my stuff before the NBA was dropping their stuff. And I mean, of course, everything goes to them, but like we have, like, these aren't robots that are playing out there. These are men and women. These are brothers. These are sisters. These are fathers. These are relatives that we have who play in the NBA. And it's sad that we don't get to showcase their talent the way we want to without there being consequences. So that's another reason why I didn't want to drop the games like that anymore. So yeah, there's a lot that comes with all that. But like I said, these people aren't, I mean, the NBA, it's their job, yeah. But like I said, also they have their own rights. We have our rights. These are our friends and our family members that we're watching on TV. And the fact that we already have to pay, and then possibly could get in trouble for showing your cousin or your brother doing this, or your sister, like, that part is kind of sketchy. I don't feel like they should have the rights to control majority of that, but that's not up to me. So that's where the basketball went, and that's how I got my ideas moving forward as to what I actually want to do. But like I said, the reason why I have so many different types of content is because I wanted to do things the way I wanted to do them for me, and to show you guys, after all is said and done, like how things came about. Like, my YouTube journey isn't like everybody else's. I wasn't coached on how to do anything. These are ideas that are always in my head. They've always been in my head. So like, we're just scratching the surface, like I said. But I'm gonna try to I've been trying to reach out to a lot of people, and it's hard to get them to respond, especially if you're like just a new person or somebody that doesn't really have a huge platform. So I don't know if I don't want to say that they're looking only for money, what's in it for them, but like I said, like how does how do things get started? Like, how do you start out doing anything? You start out small for the most part, and it took a lot of people 10 years to get to where they are now, and that's great. But I feel like it didn't have to be that way. So if you guys could, like, when people are in comments for all these big time YouTubers, that's great, but I mean, just think about it. Do they really give a damn about what you're saying in the comments? Are they gonna respond? No, they're not gonna respond. No, they don't give a damn. Maybe some people don't have time to respond, but I mean, you could tell the difference between YouTubers who actually love their fans, who interact with their fans, versus the NBA, where you're just watching these games. You click on it, you watch the game. None of the NBA players are gonna be like, "Oh yeah, man, did you like that move?" So, like, who are y'all actually talking to when you leave these comments? Are you leaving the comments because you want to be cool or want to have your name in there? Like, do they honestly give a damn about you is what I'm gonna say. So I'm not gonna go too much into that, but like, y'all leaving these comments for people who half the time, majority of the time, ain't even gonna see them. They're not even gonna read them, possibly because it could be too many. But so let's start with that. I'm not gonna go into detail of all that, but I mean, people like me who actually will respond to your comments, or like if you seen something that you wanted to throw in there, or something you wanted me to put up or talk about, then we could do that. So, and I would never have it that way to where I won't be able to respond, and I just have so many comments. And of course, you got other people who are going to come in and say what they say, and that's how you get your likes, and that's how get a lot of thumbs up on stuff like that. But like I said, y'all are watching a lot of this content. Y'all watching, like, do these people really give a damn about you? Be honest with yourself. They don't. They're not going to read that stuff. So that's just kind of how I feel with the comments, and a lot of people subscribing to content to where, like, these people, you're never going to meet them. You're never going to talk to them. They're not going to respond back. So I'm going to just leave it at that. But y'all know where I'm going. So like I said, it could be a number of things of why certain people can't respond. But I mean, just be smart about it. Y'all know who's going to respond and who's not going to respond. But like I said, I've reached out to all these people with the NCAA, with the Maui tournament. The videos that I've reached out to these people, and I let them know exactly what I was going to be doing and stuff like that. So I know they read my texts. I know they read my Instagrams. I know they read my emails. But like I said, we'll get into that another time. But that's how I get my ideas. I don't just, well, this guy's trending, I'm gonna do this, and I can get some views off of here. This will boost my channel up. Like, I want everything to be 100% done my way, through my eyes, and you have more of a story when you do it that way. So that's why I have things in order like that. So going forward now, like I said, I got my show. My show is coming, so I'm gonna be reaching out to a lot of people, and we're gonna go over a lot of things. But of course, that's gonna take time. But yeah, just stick along for the ride, guys. Appreciate y'all checking out this video. Maybe refer it to your friend, and also you can still work, you can still play the game, you can still do what you do, go about your daily lives or whatever you do without having to stop and see what's actually on the screen. So that's another plus of doing this show, because I know a lot of people are busy and they don't have time to look down to see what you're doing, or if you want to show this picture. So like just talking and trying to reach out to everybody and help them in their own way. So yeah, that's how this is gonna go. So we'll talk more. Appreciate you guys, and this is how my journey, genuine 100% journey, got started. So yeah, appreciate y'all.